So, what are some things that you want to touch on this video?
I'd say the first thing that I want to touch upon with regards to franchising a business is whether you are thinking of franchising a business or not, you should build every business that you have as if you are going to franchise it. Because what it does is it goes and sets the principles and the foundations of you having SOPs, how to train staff, how to recruit staff, and everything around the business to be rinse and repeatable and be systems dependent and not people dependent. So that's the first thing that I would touch upon if someone's looking to franchise a company.
So, just digging a little bit deeper into what you've just said. So, when you're saying SOPs and systems dependent, that basically means like documenting, like for example, the onboarding process of a client, let's say, or the after sales process. So you would actually have all of that documented down. So, for example, if I was to leave tomorrow, you'd be like, no problem, Kaz. You're gonna be able to rehire very quickly and retrain as well very quickly as well. Is that what you mean by that?
Exactly that, yeah.
Right.
So if you go into any McDonald's,
Mhm.
their kitchen will be set out in a specific way. The ovens will be the exact same branded of ovens. The fries that the members of staff are putting in will be exactly the same amount of time. The product will be exactly the same. Everything when you go and get a burger from one franchise McDonald's and another should taste the same. And
Mhm.
it's those systems and processes that the staff then follow and get trained up on to make certain that they're delivering the correct deliverables for the brand. So when you're talking about, let's say, an accountancy practice that then go and franchise and they have 50 branches within the UK, they will have like, this is how much we want you to charge. Now there might be a slight range in it, but they would be saying our pricing model is this. This is what else we sell. These are the services that we offer. Here's our terms and conditions. And the reason why the main franchisee wouldn't want people to kind of move far away from what their systems and processes are is because if they didn't follow in line with the pricing structure or doing the same services, the T's and C's might not become kind of valid. So everything that they do should be systems dependent and following exactly the blueprint of that franchise.
Right. Okay. So now that you've got the SOPs, the systems in place, what about like managers? So, for example, if you've got an office in Manchester, you want to go and set up another one in Liverpool, would you, for example, send that manager from Manchester to Liverpool to train up the new staff? Is that something that you would be looking at, or would you be looking at hiring two completely different managers? The
For
what's the
for for
script there?
For me, I prefer. Let's say the guy's crushing it in Manchester and wants to stay in Manchester. He can stay in Manchester if he wants to. If
Hmm.
he wants a new challenge, and this is what some people end up wanting, then yes, I would move the one from Manchester that's doing really well, that lives and breathes the brand, knows everything about what works about our company or our branding, and I would move him to the new store to build up. He can recruit and do everything. If he wasn't willing to move, even though I would incentivize him, the number two in command, so the assistant manager, let's say, of the store, they then would go over to the Liverpool branch. I would want someone who's working within the business that I'm working with for a while, who I can trust to go there and train up and develop. It's not saying they'll stay there forever if they don't want to, but I would incentivize them to go there, get set up. They know how to recruit, they know how to train, they know everything about how our middle management structure want things pedantically to be absolutely perfect. They know everything of what is needed. So yes, I would try to have someone set up. That's not to say a new person couldn't come in and follow it. It's just when you've got someone new, it's the trust element, and are they going to follow the processes exactly as per the systems that you have on the training program?
Yeah, that makes sense. So then, there's obviously different ways to acquire and grow, especially when it comes to franchise. So we were speaking about this before we actually hit record, but obviously, let's say we're a law firm, we could acquire a law firm in Liverpool, swap the branding out to ours, and that's part of our franchise at that point, right? So they're kind of following the exact same SOPs that we've got. But then you've also got starters setting up from new. So, for example, you've go and get a brand new office or brand new shop. You employ people to be in that place. What are your what do you recommend? Like, what do you prefer?
So if you're looking to expand your franchise network, both can work great.
Hmm.
Growth by acquisition or bolt-on acquisition method works brilliantly. It's almost like buying an age domain, and then you can leverage the power of the age domain and the customers and everything of what it's already got and improve upon it. So when you've got an existing business, so let's say an accountancy or a mortgage broker in London, you're based up in Manchester, you want to set up in London, that company that might not be doing great or might be doing okay, but you, if it becomes part of your franchise, you can grow and do better. The offices are already there, the staff are already there, and people like crossing, walking in the street already know that that is a mortgage broker kind of shop. So you just rebranding it with your franchise, you have your franchise branding, training the staff and developing the staff to do it your way,
Hmm.
then that can give you like a head start like there's no tomorrow. However, you're restricted to finding the mortgage brokers in certain areas of you might want. So if I wanted to set up a franchise, let's say in Essex, and I couldn't find a decent business for what I wanted to acquire in Essex, at that point, I'm just setting up new. I'm not going
Yeah.
to go and buy something that's like overpriced or not on the main high street of where I want them to be. And at that point, I might then just set up new. So both can work well. You just got to work out, is this going to be worth acquiring and having that head start? Because I love time hacking. So I prefer buying businesses because I'm saving time. I know that that's going to take off faster. However, there's lots of caveats. It's finding those perfect businesses that you think's at the right price. And if you can't, once you've got a rinse and repeat strategy in place for a franchise, just just go and go again. You can build new if needs be.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me when it comes to acquiring versus setting up from new is what is that business, even if it might even be overpriced, by the way, but what is that business bringing to the table that my business currently doesn't already have? Like going back to the law firm example, if I'm a lawyer and I want to go and set up in London, for example, have they got, for example, let's say a SEO optimized website? Do they have like maybe an internal marketing team that I actually don't? Is there any also cost savings like that that could obviously come into play? Because again, that would also be a kind of like a time hack, I suppose. If you're potentially acquiring a business that's already got something set up that you don't have set up, it's definitely gonna save you a lot of time and efforts. So let's talk about the actual marketing of a new franchise. Let's say you go and set up in London. What are some things that you're actually going to be doing in that area?
So the first thing you'd be wanting to do is setting up a Google business profile
Hmm.
of where the address is or the office is, getting the local telephone number, and then go and get that kind of office space in as many different citations and business directories as possible. And then trying to build up. It's a new. At the end of the day, yes, it's a franchisee of the big brand, but that office is a specific new business. So then at that point, testimonials, case studies, and reviews. How quickly can I try to start building that up? Because one of the main ranking factors for building up a local map pack Google business profile is getting those reviews. So that's something that I'll be wanting to do. So trying to get the sales team straight away on acquiring new clients or getting new clients and then building that up.
And also incentivizing people to actually leave a review as well.
Yeah.
That's probably another important thing. Um, a couple other things that we can obviously mention is you see this a lot with like restaurants and stuff like that. They do leaflet drops. You could potentially go down that route. I know, like for example, Pizza Hut recently opened near me, and they done a big leaflet drop. With anything like this, you're probably going to want to track KPIs, make certain it's actually worthwhile doing. You can obviously run Facebook ads as well. Like you could run a simple ad saying like, "Oh, hey, did you know that we've just launched an XYZ location?" Again, that's more of like a billboard style advertising. It's just getting your brand out there. Um, Another thing that you can obviously do as well is PPC. And the last thing that you're probably going to recommend people to do is actually partner up with a lead generation specialist.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of franchisees we work with. So a big one is there was a company that was doing an amazing job on pressure washing. So there was pressure washing driveways, pressure washing like cladding, pressure washing roofs, and basically just doing cleaning with pressure washers. So they do like tennis courts and playgrounds as well and stuff like that. But they wasn't willing to travel over an hour to go and get to the job because the job might be, let's say, 6 7 hours worth of work. If they're having to travel 2 or 3 hours, it becomes a 2 day job, not a 1 day job. So for that reason, then what started to happen was they started to set that franchise up. They need a van, they need the water bowser, and they need the jet wash, and they just need a person then to go and do it. So they just kept setting that up and the franchised it in all different areas within the UK. We've went and done lead generation nationwide for him, and then what we're able to then do is segment the leads into specific areas. Yeah, franchisees, when they're building out like that, they need to make certain they're keeping each franchisee busy. So
Mhm.
it's fine trying to say, oh, well, we're going to scale out a team that's going to do SEO for every one of the branches and PPC for every one of the branches. It's a tough job. So I would definitely recommend in looking to team up with some lead generation companies. I would actually go and team up with 3 or 4 or even 5 different lead generation companies who look to be specialists in your industry, and then start comparing them against each other. Try and knuckle it down to the best 2 or 3 out of the 5, and then you might keep using 2 of them. Like as long as they're both delivering you a return on investment, that's what it comes down to. And if they can deliver you a return on investment, then keep scaling the leads and get as many as you can from the lead generation company.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Is there anything else that you feel like we need to include in this video,
I think
or do you
that's
think that's
everything.
it?
To be fair, I'd like people to leave a comment in the comment section. They might come up with different. They might have different questions, different pain points. If that period now where they've got an existing single office that's doing very well, and now they might be looking to go into other market or other areas, doing the same thing but in other areas. Um, if you've got any pain points, ask. It could be to do with finance or it could be to do with anything else. So leave a comment in the comment section if you're looking to scale out and franchise the service that you do. If you are looking for a lead generation company, head on over to fatrank.com, fill in the form, let us know what the service is and the different areas of where you cover, and we can see whether FatRank might be able to do lead generation for your franchise.
Thanks for watching.